Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, with episode 324 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, who's swinging through the city with me tonight.
I am Joe Butler, and you got Batman in my Spider-Man. Oh.
I am Phoebe Stanton, and I'm feeling really negative right now.
Thwip thwip, it's Nate, and I didn't think of a quip.
Flip counts as a clip.
Nice.
And you know that negative joke, that is just hit too many truths right there, Phoebe, for you.
Mr. Negative is great.
Yes. So we are here to talk about, this has a couple different names, Marvel's Spider-Man or Spider-Man 2018 video game, because there are lots of Spider-Man, so I don't even know how to title this episode.
Insomniac's Spider-Man.
Yeah, I just call it Spider-Man.
Or Spider-Man 2018. Either one of those works. I haven't really heard many people say Marvel's Spider-Man.
That's what the Wikipedia has as the actual title of this game, is Marvel's Spider-Man. I don't know what's accurate, but it's developed by Insomniac, published by Sony. Originally came out in 2018, then came out in 2020, then came out in 2022. Came out 3 times on PC, PS5, and PS4. In not that order. So, how we start with our memories. I actually played this game for the first time either 2019 or 2020. I can't remember. My wife had bought it for me because I was interested in it, but I wasn't going to pay full price for it because I'm a cheap bastard. And so she surprised me and bought it for me for Christmas. And I remember I was really excited. And I played through this entire game within a few days. I remember I had a great time, and I hadn't touched it since. So it's been at least 5 years since I played it before this past week. And Joe?
I bought this day one. As much as y'all know me, I'm a day one person if I really, really want to play it, either I'm still busy playing something or I just flat out fucking forget. But I played this day one, super loved it. I loved everything about it. And if I usually say I'm a big Iron Man fan, but I always forget I'm also a really big Spider-Man fan. And
you also like Batman, in case you don't know.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Marvel-wise, I kept up with this when they announced did E3 still exist when this was announced?
Yes, because E3 has only been gone for a couple of years.
Yeah, so E3 showing off, I think it's the big scene where he webs up the helicopter and it shows Miles at the end when it showed that, and it introduced the new suit and basically them explaining that this has nothing to do with the movies and it's its own universe, and also being a really big fan of some other stuff that we'll talk about here in a bit. But I love this to death, and honestly I haven't touched it since I first beat it. I'm kind of glad that I did because it still holds up really well.
And Phoebe?
I didn't play this when it first came out, but I was motivated to play this when somebody who's really nice named Joe Butler gave me a code for the second game. So I was like, okay, I mean, if I own them both, I might as well start playing them.
Nate?
I got this in 2018. Shortly after it came out, my buddy bought a launch copy and then also bought the PS4 Spider-Man PS4 Pro. So he gave me his launch copy, because he couldn't wait to play it. Anyway, this game is rad.
I mean, it is. Like, I had forgotten a lot about this game. It wasn't something that's been on my mind for a bit, and then replaying it for this podcast, I was like, damn, this game is good still. So one thing I do want to get out of the way is I played the PS4 version of this game, because that's what I own. But if you play the remastered version, you get a different Peter Parker for some reason.
Yeah, different face. I still don't know why they did that.
They decided to make him look more or less like Tom Holland to match up the MCU. That's about what it is.
Yeah, but what's even stupider is they were like, oh, we're supposed to make it look like Yuri Lowenthal. And I'm like, dude, the original face looks more like Yuri Lowenthal than anything else. But I also say that because the original face also looks like fucking Andrew Garfield, my favorite Spider-Man.
I like the original face.
Younger. Like, he looks younger in the PS4 version than he does in the PS5 version.
Could be accurate. I don't know for sure.
I think it's the other way around. I think he looks younger in this face as in the PS5 face than he does in the PS4 face.
You might be right.
I think he looks younger in the PS5 face.
I have not played the PS4 version since 2018. I played the dirty PS5 version.
Hey, if you got it, I mean, why not play the remastered version? I'm assuming that there's a few fixes and little things that are better in that version. I wouldn't know because I didn't play that version, but I'm assuming.
It's just some basic stuff. Honestly, getting killed, you come back in not even half a second. Fast traveling's way more worth it because you fast travel. It's not even a loading screen. The screen turns black for also half a second and you're already there. It's, as much as I hate to admit it, fast traveling in this game is kind of a sin unless it's like more than 1,000 meters away or on the other side of town.
Yeah, I only did it a little bit because it's fun to run around the city. Like, it's a very, very fun open world map.
It is a very good swing. It's like the
Mhm.
best swings that we've had since Spider-Man 2 and maybe the Amazing Spider-Man games.
Those are good games.
I am ashamed to admit, I wish I could have tried the Web of Shadows games. I heard those are actually the Web of Shadows and then the multiverses that we had, the first and the
Shattered
sequel.
Dimensions.
Yeah, I heard those were okay too.
Shattered Dimensions is really good. I want to do it on this show, but you have to emulate 360, and I don't really want to ask people to do that yet. Or track down a copy. You have to have one. Like, it ain't cheap. That's the only reason why I haven't been on the show yet.
Was it not? Was it not on PC?
I mean, if it is, I don't know. Maybe. If it is, well, I mean, you can't buy it legally, but
Yeah.
I don't mean anything.
I don't think it was on PC. The last Spider-Man game I played before this was probably Spider-Man 3 on the 360.
That's okay. I played that too.
The only Spider-Man games that are on Steam are the Insomniac ones.
Now, yes.
That's dumb.
Right. Marvel doesn't like to play ball, for one thing. Or
Fuck
Disney,
no.
I should say, doesn't like to play ball.
Yeah, that's true too.
Disney does not want to play ball with people, so that's just.
I don't
That's
know.
just fucking Disney.
They're bringing back like Star Wars Power Battle, which like
Yeah, I was gonna say, go
Yeah,
check
that's
I
bad.
played as a
PSN.
kid, so
Okay, some stuff has come back, but
PSN might have them. I think they have the Neversoft ones at the very least.
I
I might be
Uh,
crazy.
maybe never saw. I don't think they do. I'm pretty sure none of those are available. I think this is really.
That would suck because those are fun games.
They are, but like you run into a lot of rights issues with stuff like this, and that's like I'm grateful if this game is playable on PC and is out there for so many people to enjoy because this is a really fun game.
Yeah,
Like-
but that's for now. Once another company starts making Spider-Man games, they might pull all of these off.
Oh, they will, 100%. No question. I mean, it's going to be a bit, I think, before we have to worry about that, but 100%. Because that's just, part of it is Sony doesn't want someone else to be competing that could take their money. Another game would steal from that. Is the supposedly, like, idea. Is it real? I don't think so, but it is an idea that all companies deal with and play with. So, I mean, I'm happy that this game is on PC now because more people can enjoy it. Like, I didn't buy this on PC because I had a PS4 copy, so I just played that.
I wish Sony would stop waiting. Like, I honestly would rather I would buy these games on PC more if it was like a 6 months in between. I hate that it's like anywhere between like a year or 2 year wait for these fucking games to come on a PC. Because if it was, I would not own a PS5 at all. I literally have that thing downstairs just for console exclusives, which is this, God of War, and that's like the only thing I can think of right now.
And the Sony AI just heard you and said, "Yep, this is why we wait."
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be mentioned in some corporate meeting somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
Now, do they make you make a PSN account when you buy this game on the PC?
I think they did originally. Now they stopped that because of the whole Helldivers thing that happened like a year or two ago.
Good.
They got banned in different countries.
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid. I mean, I get the idea what they were going for, but like handicapping things like that is not going to help your sales, you idiots. Like, I get what you're thinking, but don't do that. So, for those that don't know, which you probably don't, you probably know if you're listening to the episode, this is an open world game that really captures the feel of New York, I think. I'm not a New Yorker, never been to New York. I want to, but I feel like it captures the vibe of New York.
Oh, you think that, Mike? Do you really think that?
I do.
I can probably find it if I want to dig it up. There was this review someone left on Steam, and I think the guy deleted it, but you can't delete anything off the internet, where he gave the game a bad review because he says it didn't feel like New York enough. And he's like, I can't like ride the subway or get a hot dog as Spider-Man, and I'm so upset about that. This is bullshit. And everyone made fun of him, where it's like, why the fuck would I want to get a hot dog? I'm Spider-Man. And so he like deleted it, but like I said,
Nothing really goes away on the internet.
yeah.
But also, why would you even like? So you can, it's a video game. Like, this is a very good Spider-Man video game. Like, they capture the open world feel. It has a great story. It has tons of side missions, which I skipped a lot this time because time crunch.
Oh, you fool. We're going to talk a lot about those side missions.
No, I did a lot before. Like, I played a ton of this game the first time, but I was running out of time.
So one thing that I do love about this, which we'll get into, of course, the story as well, and then we'll bounce around that just a little bit in the beginning. I am always a fan of people being like, look, we know Spider-Man's been around for like 30 fucking years. This is not an origin story. This is not, this is not day one Spider-Man. This is 8 years in the Spider-Man's journey. And they wrote everything so well where half of his villains did exist and half of them don't. He's at a good point in his life. Other goofy things that I'm going to bitch about later because I fucking hate a lot of... Even though as much as I love Spider-Man, I also hate a lot of his other backstory stuff. But like I said, we'll get into that. They wrote it as a very good, still as a, hey, you can introduce new fans to this because obviously that's what they want to do. But older fans will also come back. And I honestly 100% believe that's why this sold so well.
I think that's a very good point.
I like that a lot of companies are doing that now, where these characters are so prominent in pop culture lexicon that everybody knows their origin story. We don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah, it's nice. You don't need, like, you have Spider-Man's origin mentioned a little bit in here, I think, but, Uncle Ben is mentioned, but you don't need to see it. Like, we've had 8 Spider-Man movies. We don't need another origin story.
What, you don't want to watch Martha Wayne's pearls drop off the ground again?
We're gonna keep
Somewhere Ken got upset and he doesn't know why all of a sudden.
Why'd you say that name?
Exactly.
Martha!
Oh my god, I gotta watch that movie this year, maybe.
No, don't do it.
I hate that movie.
I love
Everybody
that
hates
movie. I love that movie.
As an aside, I saw that movie for a college class with the professor and everything. He paid for everybody's tickets, and when we left, I went, dude, I want my money back.
So I also have one big thing I want to ask y'all, and I've been dying and itching to ask y'all this, but I can't ask it around Mike because usually when Mike's there, Mr. Bill is there, Mr. Bill Tucker, and I don't want to spoil that franchise for him. We're all pretty caught up on the Spider-Man stuff currently, right? Like all the movies, the Tom Holland movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love Paul.
I have not seen the animated show that just came out on Disney, but
Oh yeah, I haven't watched Friendly Neighborhood.
Oh, you didn't watch that
Tried
woke
that.
show?
I-
Mhm.
You know what, Mike? I will tell you right now, that guy said that on purpose. That show, hands down, is really good.
I know, that's what I heard.
Really?
Yeah, like it, and it's weird because he's like, this show's so like not woke, and you watch the show, first thing is like, oh hey look, Norman Osborn's black. That's such a great fucking choice.
yeah, I've heard it's really good. But
That's what I've heard too, but
I don't have Disney Plus, so I can't watch.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
not a bad
sorry.
thing.
Yeah, I shouldn't be giving those guys my money.
I used to have it until they went the route of Netflix and said no more password sharing.
No, not yet. They said that, but they haven't done it yet.
Oh, they did it.
No, they did it.
They did it. They did it to my dad was using my account.
Yeah, I
and
can't
then-
get
Yeah.
on the TV version.
Because
I wonder-
one weekend we could watch Frozen and Frozen 2, and then the next weekend I was like, sorry, Elsa.
Okay, but
died,
like, why the
kids.
fuck would you watch Frozen 2?
Because he has little girls.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say
Oh.
it is not a good movie.
Frozen
girl
2
dad.
is so bad.
That's what I've heard. I've never seen Frozen, actually. I want to. I actually want to cover it.
Overrated,
But I've never
in
seen
my
it.
opinion.
Apologies for Joe. Please continue.
I completely lost my train of thought.
I want to say
Asking
that
where we were.
the fact that that is Spider-Man 8 years in, I think that was such a great choice because you're able to have the lore that he's fought a few villains. Like we know, like Shocker, he's fought Shocker, Scorpion, Rhino, Vulture. I think I'm forgetting some. No.
Yeah, these Sinister
Electro.
Six.
These
Oh yeah, Electro. I know I was forgetting somebody.
these 5 sinister characters: Electro, Vulture, the Rhino, fucking who am I forgetting?
Scorpion.
Scorpion.
Vulture. Did you say Vulture?
I said Vulture. Kingpin.
No,
No.
Kingpin's never part of it.
That's 4 of them. If I'll remember the other one eventually. Anyways.
No, it's Rhino, Scorpion, Electro, Vulture.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Mr. Negative shows up, and then Doc Ock. Spoiler, but yes.
I was
Okay.
just gonna say, who here read the prequel novel to this game?
Is a prequel novel to this?
I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Please,
I think that answers your
continue.
question.
It's called Hostile Takeover. It's pretty good. Not bad.
Okay, and then you also have like Kingpin as one of his main villains too. I mean, he's not one of the Sinister Six, but he is the opening of this game. Is you fighting him? I like that. I mean, I think it's a really good. Like this game has a great story, and I better than, in my opinion, has any right to. Like this
So-
story shouldn't be as good as it is.
So the reason behind that, which I'll always defend with my every fiber of my fucking being, which is funny because now there's 2 iterations under the same name. So whenever someone asks which one, I can just say both. This is also based mostly off of the Ultimate Run, which is the best Spider-Man run to date. And yes, Phoebe, I got that Paul joke. I'm gonna throw something at you.
Damn it.
But This is based off the Ultimate Run, obviously the Ultimate Run, including Miles Morales and him being interluded in Batman's story.
Batman?
Not Batman, Spider-Man.
I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, and then what is it? Them also saving some stuff, which they continue from here into the next game. They change some stuff that's also current runs. And also one thing that I've also liked too, which the newer movies have also said as well, this takes place in its own universe. So there is no like, oh, well, we're basing it off this run. Like, no, this is all the Insomnia Spider-Man universe. So anything we do here is contained to its own. It won't go into the movie. It won't go into another show, things like that. And I also was really glad about that too.
Same. I think that's a good thing for this. I like the fact that this is contained.
Mm-hmm. And this...
and it works that it's based off the Ultimate Run. Like, you can feel it that it's there. These are all pretty accurate to what the characters are in the regular stuff and what people know. Like Scorpion, Rhino, Vulture, they're all what you know them as. They're not far off from their regular versions of them. Speaking of storytelling, another thing that I really like about this is, besides you obviously being hand-fed the story throughout the game, we talk about side quests. The backpack side quest is probably the main one you should do out of this game, because I love how you get small snippets of the story that you kind of put together if you are a Spider-Man fan. One of them that I think is really interesting is you find out that, which is also in the game, J. Jonah Jameson has his own podcast, and you find out why, because he got in trouble with the Bugle for blaming Spider-Man for deaths because J. Jonah Jameson paid for the Scorpion suit, which is a run in Spider-Man.
That's always been a thing. That's even in the 90s cartoon.
Oh, is it? I always thought that was like kind of a newer run that did that.
No, it's a long time thing when Scorpion starts off in the comics.
Hmm.
Yeah,
but it's a good long time thing.
He always pays for Mac's first suit.
Max Electro?
Mac Gorgon is the Scorpion.
Oh, okay. I know stuff to a degree, but not good enough apparently.
Yeah, same here. And then one of the other things too, they also get a really good A+ cast for the voice actors. The only weird choice that I think is funny is obviously they have Yuri Lowenthal, who does both anime and cartoons. So I hear Spider-Man, but I also hear Ben 10 and Sasuke from Naruto. And then weirdly enough, he has to call a character by his own name that's also played by his wife.
Oh,
what?
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, the voice actress for Yuri Watanabe, I think is also an Ultimate Run, is voice acted by his wife.
Wow. Oh my god. Tell me that continues in Spider-Man 2.
Don't.
That it's the same voice actress for Spider-Man 2, because that would be funny as shit.
Yeah.
I just don't. Yeah, one of us has not played Spider-Man 2 yet, so let's not go there.
Fair. Well, that one thing that they talk about is they set up Yuri's storyline in this and the DLC for what happens in 2. So it's one of the things where if you read the comic, you know what happens, but it's always a good thing. Like, obviously with this, which you get in the introduction, you get the whole, him fighting Kingpin and whatever. And then you go to his lab, to which they very specifically don't show what the name is on his phone. It just says work. You get introduced to Dr. Otto Octavius, which I think was honestly like the best reveal in the beginning.
The stuff with Otto is so good in this, where he's his mentor, and like where he accidentally figures out that you're Spider-Man because you have the suit there, and he's like, "Oh, you're Spider-Man's mechanic, or his tech guy." I'm like, "Oh, it makes sense." Like, I like how Oct is just such a good guy. It really reminds me of Spider-Man 2 also, where Oct is a good guy until shit happens. Because he's not a bad person to start with.
No, and it is a really strong character arc what they do with this, and the idea that when you do the side quests in the lab, reinforcing the arms and stuff, you are actively creating the final boss. I think that's such a brilliant choice.
It is.
Speaking of choices, because obviously it was a big hit, and I think everyone loved it. How do y'all feel about his PS4 exclusive suit, the big white spider?
I'm trying to remember it now.
His main suit that whenever Otto finds him, he puts on the main suit for the game, the big white spider suit.
I like that suit.
It's fine. I like that they give you so many suit options, and a lot of them are connected to different comic runs and single issue story arcs.
Yeah, but it makes it part of the fun, and they all give you a special ability, so even if you just want to fuck around, there is a purpose to getting them, and I think that's one thing that makes them really special too, that they serve such a greater purpose.
Plus, if you have a very specific Spider-Man run that you like, you can always just don that suit, like I usually do.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember, in this one specifically, they do give you the ability to rip the powers off of a suit and put them on another suit, right?
Yes, they
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, God, this game made a lot of good choices.
I was gonna say, did y'all have a favorite suit power, or did you just use the main one? Because I kept the main one.
I liked the one where it might just be the main one. I don't know. The one where he jumps up and he shoots all the webs out. That is very useful.
I just kind of started. I had something that electrocuted people, and I just went with that. But I was also kind of really rushing this game, unfortunately. I mean, it was bad. I don't normally get that bad, and this was a game where I kind of went, I don't like this, but I don't have a choice.
There's a lot of side activities in it, but like,
Oh my god, I had to stop.
Yeah, the main story though is so good that like when I initially played it, I was doing like side stuff, and then once the story got really going, I was like, I just want to see where this goes next.
I was with you. I mean, when I was playing this game back in the day, I remember I was doing a ton of the side stuff, and then I decided to get the game to go to Act 3, and then when Act 3 of this game, the whole city is on fire because everybody's escaped, and then I just finished the game, so I'm like, this is no fun.
Man, we need more open world stuff like that, where like the games split up into 3 acts, and whenever you get through an act, like the city changes, and in the last act, it's like, oh, I love everything's on fire or weird or some other thing.
Other games have done that.
All the Spider-Man games do that. Technically, all the Batman games do that. Like in Arkham Knight, at the end, like the whole town's like flooding with fear gas.
Yeah, and it's not fun. Yes.
Yeah. What is it? The Spider-Man games do that. I think. What is it? Isn't it like in the second Amazing Spider-Man game, the villain's like Carnage, so the whole town's like symbiote or whatever?
Something like that, yes. It's been a bit, but yes.
Yeah. Web of Shadows also ends in Symbiote Town.
Because, yeah, they copied a lot. But also good games. I do really appreciate that the main villain through the majority of this game and his new villain that he's fighting in the story-wise is Martin Lee or Mr. Negative. And, like, when I first played this, I knew it was Mr. Negative somewhere, but I hadn't, like, I still don't really know. The only reason I even know that character a little bit is because he has a card in Marvel Snap. He was not a character I was familiar with before this game.
So he's only in a single episode, but you should watch a show called Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur because he has a really good episode in that.
So funny enough, I believe so. He is a ultimate villain. He was first introduced Ultimate Run, and he very much specifically is a what is it called? He is a Miles Morales villain.
He is. He's not the other Peter Parker.
No, he's a Miles Morales villain, yeah. And it's funny because they make it work here because technically, as I said, we're going to hop around the story a lot. He does kill his dad. So I think them using that in this is actually a really good good story
good for
beat.
Miles Morales, too, because Miles Morales kind of becomes that because his dad died. So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like
kind
that.
If the reverse of creating your own villain, of creating your own hero.
Yeah. I thought all the stuff with that was well done. Like, when you know Martin Lee is Mr. Negative and the way he reacts early on throughout this game, when they bring him the disc or the mask, and he's like, you shouldn't be fucking around with this. Like, he knows immediately what's going on. And like, you can see it in his face if you know what you're looking at. Also,
I think in the comics, he can also just do that, which I think is funnier. So he can actually like negativity people and then they fight for him and stuff like that. So it goes into a thing that they picked a good villain for a video game kind of thing.
I would agree. I mean, it's also nice to have a villain that a lot of people probably wouldn't know because I didn't know him. And I know a decent amount about Spider-Man. I've seen all the movies, like it was nice to have someone that was so brand new to even me, as someone who's read comics and someone who has played tons of Spider-Man games. And he's a character I had no idea who he was. Other than the Marvel Snap card now.
There goes my question, because I was going to ask if anybody knew who his backstory was, because I want to know if the game kept it consistent or not. But
sorry, I have no idea.
I knew him as a character, but I didn't know his backstory per se, so couldn't answer that honestly.
I just know he's a Miles villain because he was introduced whenever Miles was Spider-Man for like 5 years.
Okay. No, the Ultimate World is they love to use it in Spider-Man now. Like the movies are, Martin MCU is from the Ultimate Universe, but actually good. But yeah, the thing.
That's because it's the interesting universe. They were allowed to do stuff like keep characters dead.
No, because this has one thing that I'll complain about later, but it I'll get into that later on. But what is it? Lost my train of thought again.
I will say that the gameplay just handles so well. The combat, it does have that Arkham feel to it, which of course is what they were going for.
Even weirder, I don't know how you guys feel. I want to hear because I love hearing people's opinions. I like playing as Spider-Man as a beat 'em up. I hated sneaking around, which is the opposite of Batman. But
Yes.
that's just me. I don't know how you guys feel.
Well,
I actually like to play this game stealth. This and the sequel, I did a lot more stealth than anything else. I like the idea of just whipping up guys from the back of a building and nobody knows what's going on or why they're losing goons.
I can't do it. I also had to play this game in the easiest difficulty so I can get through it quickly, unfortunately. But even in general, if I don't have to do stealth, I don't do stealth. I may kill one guy stealth and we're just fighting after that. And I can't help myself.
What about you, Nate?
I prefer beat 'em up in this, whereas Batman I prefer both. But the combat is so dang fun, and you just zip around so quick that I don't ever want to be in stealth. But I like that stealth is mostly optional too. Like if you get spotted,
Yes.
you can just fight them. Like it's not an instant fail.
The only time I ran into an instant fail was a side mission with a sniper. And that was a side mission, so I can't, not the game's fault type of thing. It's like, okay. It wasn't, I didn't have to do it. So no, I appreciate what the game does. I appreciate that the combat is actually really fucking fun. And the stealth is, it's good. And if you want it, it's there. And it's not bad stealth if you want it. I just
It's decent.
didn't want it. It's not Batman. He doesn't control as well as Batman does in the Arkham games for the stealth. He doesn't have the same, I had a lot of issues where in Batman I'm fine. But I also don't really consider Spider-Man a stealth character in general.
Yeah.
It's just not, that's not Spider-Man to me.
See, I don't know, maybe it's because we're from different generations or something, because when I think Spider-Man, I do think of the whole stringing them up against a wall or stringing them up to a light post and letting the cops take care of it. But I do appreciate that they give you the option for those type of things in this game if you want to go stealthy or more of a classic brawler. And I think it's really funny because this is about the first Spider-Man game, really, at least to my memory, where you get this type of toolkit, all these like little gadgets, which makes sense because Peter is a smart kid, even without the spider powers. He is a genius and would have been able to make this type of attack.
I don't know. I played a lot of Spider-Man games, but I can't think of anything that did it before like this. I could be wrong, but I just don't remember. And nothing
So.
coming to mind.
I like the game too for doing that as well because a lot of people do forget that. So technically, the newer movie brings it in, or the newer movies bring him in. I do miss Peter Parker being smart. He's always been smart to me, and I think there's even a line of dialogue that I like where you can find tape recorder. Well, obviously it's a video game. You find tape recorders lying around, and even Dr. Octagonopus is like, man, Peter's
God
a really
damn it.
yeah. Is like, man, Peter's is a really good scientist. We had something fuck up, and we need a part to fix it. And he used like a toothbrush and some shit lying around to fix it, which is something that Peter would do in any kind of like run anything. So I really appreciate it because what is it? Spider-Man 1, or Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, he didn't really do a lot of science stuff. Amazing Spider-Man, he gets his web from fucking Osborn Corp too, which is even weirder. But the Tom Holland run's been doing a lot better job about it, and I appreciate that too. And I'm glad we have it in this as well.
Joe doesn't realize that his ranking friendship-wise just jumped like 10 points because of that reference.
It is good stuff. Like I like it that you get all these different gadgets, and you can tell they were copying the Arkhamverse. Like you can tell that was a bit of a blueprint for what they were doing, but they do it so much better. Like this game, like all the side missions. This game has so many fucking side missions. Like you were talking about the backpack. I think there's 55 backpacks to pick up or something ridiculous. Something like, it's somewhere around there. I was close. I had almost all of them, but I just was like, I need to stop.
My issue with the backpacks is that it ruins Spider-Man lore, because the reason behind the backpacks is Peter wins a contest with Kingpin, and the prize is like a $10,000 check and then infinite backpacks. Or it's worded funny because it's backpacks for the rest of your school year. And what is it? Peter talked about how he didn't take the money because he knew Kingpin's money was dirty, but he took the backpacks. But I guess the people that did it got mad at Peter because he'd lose a backpack every week, which is why they explain that the things are around. But what makes me mad is Peter says at one point in anything that his webbing only lasts like a couple of hours. So you have all these backpacks lying around that have been there for like fucking years, still webbed up.
I mean, yeah, I get where you're coming from, but I think it's one of those things you just have to
Except to take it. I'm just being a fucking loser. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I do like the backpack because, like you said earlier, it does add so much lore to it, and it's really nice. Like, you get, like, a piece of Rhino's horn. I think you just get little things that kind of show you what he's done since he's been Spider-Man. I think that is nice.
And who he's fought, because eventually we find out in this, which honestly I think is real ballsy of them in a good way, that Norman Osborn's not even the Green Goblin yet, and maybe doesn't even think about being the Green Goblin yet.
No, I do think I think that's nice that they don't use the Green Goblin. That most of this game is you fighting Mr. Negative. And I think that's a very good thing. Like, you have a boss fight with Shocker that really doesn't go any, like, it's very, you fight him a couple times, it's very simple. It's cool, but it's like, I have a weird, like for that character, and I don't know why, but I've always liked Shocker.
Shocker! I'll chase you to the end of the earth!
I don't know what you're saying, but all right.
Nate, please tell me you've seen that. I'm glad Phoebe does.
Is that the 90s Spider-Man?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's a 90s Spider-Man. That voice actor goes ham on that scene for no fucking reason.
Because it's not him, it's Venom.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I just have always liked that.
Fun fact, Shocker is in the prequel novel.
That's awesome.
He's the main villain. He's fighting in it.
I love that Spider-Man has enough good villains that we don't have to pull out Dr. Octopus or Green Goblin yet, but we also don't have to pull out the really Z-tier characters like The Wheel and The Wall.
His name is Big Wheel, madam. Please get his name right.
Oh my god.
Oh, you say we don't have Z-tier, but I didn't actually know Screwball existed until this game came out, and I had to look it up.
Neither did I, and we will get there.
I still don't want to know. I didn't do the Screwball thing ever. I didn't fuck around with any of that.
Do you know who Screwball is?
DLC?
No, she's in the main game. And
I do not.
All of her side quest missions are beat these characters in this time limit, but also there are cameras around and do cool poses and shit for my viewers.
Yeah.
And then you eventually have to fight her, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you fight her because I didn't finish it because it was the weakest part of the game personally for me, but I do find it really funny that there is a character whose entire thing is, I am a supervillain, but I'm not legally a supervillain. I just tell other people to do stuff, and whether or not they do it or not, that's up in the air. Like, I wonder if she ever had her followers attack some place on January 6th. I don't know why that specific date appears in my head, but just wonder.
Oh, Phoebe, that's not weird. That's like saying a rich man would vote himself into power like how Norman Osborn did and have a bunch of secrets that everyone ignores. But no one would ever do that. No one would elect an evil person into a fucking place of power.
Oh god, this game is too prophetic.
I mean, you could also say that there would never be somebody in charge of a building who didn't give you his real last name and then made you work for no reason on the weekend. That would never happen either. So. Yeah.
Oh my god. We're gonna get in so much trouble for that one if they ever find it.
What are you talking about, Phoebe? I'm talking about Oscorp. You don't work for Oscorp. No,
yeah,
it's not real.
Do I though?
I know we've gone pretty far. Nate, have you played
please.
Nate, have you? Well, no, we're going back in. Nate, have you played Miles Morales?
Yes.
Okay, because the villain for that's just Elon Musk. I don't know why they even tried to hide that one. I don't even think they did try to hide that one.
I don't think. Well, I mean, that was also before Elon Musk became president, so there's that too.
I think it was just like generic evil billionaire.
I mean, that's unbelievable. Billionaires are the good guys.
Right, yeah, they're going to take us to space. And hopefully that rocket doesn't blow up.
Are there people inside of it?
I don't know. I hope not.
It does blow up. I hope everything blows up in his face.
I mean, it is, but that's neither here nor there.
One thing I won't lie, I love the story of this game, but watching the marketing and they were like, it's Mr. Negative. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then in the first 10 minutes, you beat Otto Octavius, and you're like, well, I know where this is going.
Yeah, but he's not yet.
Yeah, even by the end of the game, I was wondering if they were going to do the turn heel or not.
It's like Act 2, I guess, is where you really fight Mr. Negative, and then the prison break happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you beat him, and then shortly after you beating him, he gets arrested.
Yeah, Act 3 is whenever they break open the Devil's Breath, and the whole town's fucked.
God, that scene is so good.
It really is, though.
No, I don't want to jump too far ahead because that scene's really good.
never do that.
Yeah, but that gets really good. But I will talk about the very verse good scene as well. I know was a weird heel turn. I remember so when I got this, I remembered it earlier. I played the beginning of this at my sister's house, and then I brought the disc home and played it on mine because she had a PS4 and I had a PS4. And I got to the end of Act 1, which is the fucking bombing. And I remember talking to someone and being like, "That came out of fucking nowhere."
Yeah, I think that's a fair way to put it. That's a good. That's a
That
good
is
scene.
Also really good. Really good act enders, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know what to properly call them.
I think acting. That's not the correct
Bookends?
way, but we'll go with it. Okay, I like bookends better.
Yeah,
I-
there you go.
Phoebe, one of these days you're gonna have me on your show so we can talk about Spider-Man for like 15 hours. But
We're gonna talk about anime. Don't you worry, and I want you on the
But you
show.
got to be available during our morning time.
Yeah, that's the thing. We record at like
It varies.
noon-ish.
I will take the day off. Anyways,
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
what is it? I was gonna say something. Fuck. I don't want-
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. We're getting into this, and I think it's fun.
Spider-Man.
I think we've dodged around it to where I think we all feel the same way. I do not like Mary Jane in this game.
Why?
I'm the only one who has no.
No, I like her
problem with
too.
the stealth missions.
I don't think she's bad.
I think she's good in this.
I don't think she's bad, but I'm not it's the same way as Lois Lane. I'm not a fan of I don't need your help, superhero boyfriend. I just saw you jump into a volcano last week. Yeah, and you chose to save me. I was going to jump in that volcano whether I knew you were coming or not, but you only did it because you knew I was coming. That's not the point.
I don't take it like that in this. I take it as he was just so worried about her and she was trying to more stretch her wings, for lack of a better term, and not respecting her. That's how I took it in this.
I'll be the controversial one. I actually kind of like the stealth sections with her, and
It's fine.
I know a lot of people
Hate him?
hate. So a little bit of a spoiler, Mike. They do double down on it for the second game.
They
Okay,
get
I wasn't
way
sure if
better.
They
were
do
in
come
there or not.
back,
They
and
get
I think they're
better.
better.
They're way better. They actually joke at that they're coming back, and then it instantly becomes like the best fucking stealth section I've ever played.
They're strong.
I don't hate them because the checkpoints are really good for them. So even though they can be annoying at times for me, like the game is like, this is what we want you to do, and we'll make it pretty obvious that this is what we want you to do. So if you fuck up, it just means you're an idiot. Like it wasn't that bad. Like it's not like it's really complicated. I didn't have a problem with it personally too much.
But I'm also the kind of guy who's like, oh man, I'm not a big fan of Mary Jane. Black Cat, though, oh, she can spit in my mouth any day of this fucking week.
Aren't you smoking some Mary Jane right now?
It's not smoking, though.
It's not smoking. I'm eating it like some kind, like some kind of cat.
Also, yeah, Felicia. Oh my god.
No,
Damn.
there's not enough Felicia in this game. I did not play the DLC, and we're not going to talk about the DLC because that will be a future episode later this year. But I like Black Cat a lot, and I like the fact that I did all her side missions in here where she's essentially leaving little kitty cat things that you have to go find, and then just so that the police will take them all, and then she can get her equipment back. I think that's all just perfect the way they do that.
I'm so upset we don't have a physical version of that, but also you get a suit for beating those, and I love that suit.
Yes, perfect.
I like Felicia Hardy. We were supposed to get her in the Amazing Spider-Man verse, but then we didn't get a third movie.
Oh, that sucks.
Felicia Hardy is in the second movie,
Yeah, she is.
played by I think the woman that plays Jen Erso.
We weren't going to get Tobey Maguire, we weren't going to get Felicia Hardy in Tobey Maguire's movies, though. Even weirder, we got the Vulture's daughter, which is a weird character that shows up rarely.
And she's MJ.
What? No. What? No.
Am I crazy?
Yes.
No. Yeah, no. The fourth Spider-Man
Yes.
movie, they had some other famous actress that was going to be the Vulture's daughter.
Felicity Jones was in the Amazing Spider-Man and I'm pretty sure that she also played Jen Erso. I'm pretty sure, right?
But that's not Norman. What's his son's name? Harry. That's Harry's assistant, right? Isn't Harry's assistant Felicia? Yeah.
In the movies, yes.
Yeah, she was good looking. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I wanted more. I was sad that we don't but that's a whole other thing where that ended. That still upsets me, but that's neither here nor there. And yes, she was Jen Erso in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story.
Nate, who's your favorite waifu?
In the Spider-Man,
Yeah, sure.
or just like in general?
In
General is not. It's not.
General's a
Felicia Hardy.
pretty broad question, but
I'm a Gwen Stacy head.
oh, that's fair. That's a good
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
I think she's more interesting than MJ. especially in the comics. But
Well, I mean, in the comics, she, depending on what run you're talking about, she gets to have Norman Osborn's baby. So hey, there's always that too.
Ew.
No, that got retconned out, sir. Don't say that.
But it still happened.
To be fair, in the new Ultimate run, she's married to Harry Osborn, which is an interesting choice.
That is an interesting choice. Comics are weird.
I was gonna say, going back to Mary Jane, one of my favorite scenes of many in this game is I think it's after the train lobby mission where Spider-Man and MJ are texting, and he says it's over, like meaning like Martin Lee is captured, and she's like, it's over, fine. And he's like, no, and he's like walking sideways on that antenna.
It's good.
It's such a cool shot and just such a good scene.
Because we've been, I mean, how many people have been there? I know I've been there personally in relationships where I've typed something like that, and they're like, okay, like, it's so good the way that he reacts with that.
Yeah,
it's misunderstood.
It's cute, and I do love their moments together. Like him being homeless at one point, he's like, I could always go crash at Mary Jane's house. Oh, but that'd be weird. Oh, fuck. And it's like, yeah, that is weird. Don't ask her that.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
the cooking scene too.
I love the cooking scene.
That's a really sweet moment.
Do you guys see the spider plushie on her fucking couch too?
Yeah, I remember that. It's so cute.
And her, did you also a little interesting tidbit too? Her camera strap is a Spider-Man camera strap.
Oh,
there's
a lot of cute little things in this game that they do. Like, it really feels like a love letter to Spider-Man in general, and I think that is great.
Even Stan Lee approved. God rest him being in this game.
He was in this, right?
Yep, he's listed as he's listed as the kitchen chef or whatever, the owner of that little.
Oh yeah, and he's like, I'm glad to see you two back together again.
God rest his soul.
Did he pass before the game came out, or was that?
It was around it.
It was around it, yeah.
But he wasn't really with it for the last few years.
We have a documentary now coming out about the situation.
Oh, I can stomach to watch that.
It depends. It's not going to be easy. I can already tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, he died. He died in 2018, November 12th.
Yeah, so like right around the game,
like right after that came out.
Yeah,
because it's October, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
I've always enjoyed. I enjoyed his cameos, but after the last shit that happened with him, I was like, it's hard to know, like, was he, being abused again or not? But neither here nor there. No, I'm surprised we don't. I mean, I'm not surprised we don't get Gwen Stacy, but I wouldn't be surprised if they bring her in at some point throughout this series. I'll say that. But I don't know anything about 2, the DLC, nor I did play Miles, but that's it. So we'll leave it at that. I don't want to comment on that again.
So what is it? One thing that I also think is really interesting as well. A lot of the NPCs are really fun. I actually do like whenever you team up with Officer Davis, which is Miles' dad, and he actually is like whooping ass while you're fighting the enemies.
Yeah, Jeffrey's awesome.
Yeah, that's some good stuff too. All the NPCs that you work with throughout this I think are kind of fun. Like, you have, like, there's a random guy who's dressed up as Spider-Man who knows, like, judo or something that fights with you. Like, they do a lot of really cool little things in here that I felt paid off. And the side missions are great. There are a lot of side missions. I didn't do all of them this time because I was on a time crunch, but I did fight Tombstone. I just didn't do Screwball.
That Tombstone fight is really good.
I liked it a lot.
It's just a really good character, and I'm glad they're using him a lot more.
Not spoiler, but he's essentially Spider-Man's best friend in the new Spider-Man show, and seeing why he becomes Tombstone is actually really cool in the new show as well.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did not expect you to say any of those sentences that came out of your mouth just now, by the way.
Yeah. But it's also because I also like the Tombstone fight in this game. It's better than the Bane fight in this game.
Bane?
Yeah.
Games.
Bane, got a big horn.
Oh, God damn it.
I am the Rhino. It's just Bane.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, but you are unfortunately accurate.
That is the only reason why. That's one of my 3 issues with this game, is that's just a fucking Bane fight. It always is. And what's worse, it comes back in Miles Morales, and it comes back in the second Spider-Man game.
Oh, I didn't know Rhino was. I don't remember Miles Morales. Oh, yeah, he's in the beginning, I think. But okay. I like Rhino. I'm happy that this game has you fight Rhino and Scorpion together. I think that's, like, they did a good job of knowing, like, hey, we know we're near the end of the game. We know that you're like, let's get through the story. We're going to make it quick. And we're going to make it fun.
That fight is obnoxious because Scorpion is so fast, And like, so anytime I was trying to set up like to hit Rhino, a Scorpion would just launch at me and like hit me and knock me out of like, standing where I was, and then Rhino would just run into me, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, you got to deal with Scorpion first.
Yeah, my other favorite part was
stubborn.
Well, to be fair, Rhino seems like the bigger threat because he's constantly in your face, but it's kind of one of those things you have to go through the quick. You have to take out the little guy first to get the big guy. But I get where you're coming from.
It's at least an interesting double boss fight because you fight Bane, but you also fight Scarecrow. I say that because earlier in the game, Scarecrow makes you hallucinate, and you have to fly through town as Batman tripping balls.
That is a good scene, though.
It's the same thing, though.
I know, but it's still really good. I liked it. I do not like the Scarecrow mission that much in Arkham, I don't think, but it's been a long time. But I really enjoyed it here. It reminded me of Arkham Origins, actually, with Copperhead when she poisons you, is what it reminded me of. The forgotten Arkham game that's actually really good that people talk shit about.
Arkham Origins.
The best.
I like
Arkham
that game.
The best Arkham game, you mean?
It's close to it. It's a damn good game.
It is. It's my.
Thank you, Nate.
It's my favorite. It's
See?
really good, and people hate on it, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Did
no.
you play Arkham City.
I like Arkham City. Arkham Knight is. I loved Arkham Knight last time I played it.
I love Arkham. I love Arkham Knight. But I'll also die on that hill with you. I also like Arkham Origins. I think that Deathstroke fight is like one of the best fights of that game.
Yes. And the electrocutioner fight in that game is
that fight's amazing.
So good.
Don't worry, Rocksteady will come back.
They made a game.
They'll come back.
I love Suicide Squad, Borderlands, the Destiny.
The game that you didn't even remember existed when I asked you about it? Yeah, I know.
Oh, I thought you did both movies. I was like, you want me to do Suicide Squad?
I do want to cover that movie at some point, yes, but I have not gotten there.
Which one?
Both. I like but that's neither here nor there.
Proof those movies are good. My husband's seen both those movies, and he's not a comic book person, but he loves those movies, so.
Doesn't mean they're good, but all right. But Spider-Man. I do like how you fight Kingpin to start with, and then he kind of disappears. Some of the open world stuff they have, like you can catch pigeons in this game, which I didn't bother at this time. There's backpacks. There's the Black Cat stuff, which I did all of, which I think is really good. There's also hideouts to take out. There's Kingpin. There's Silver Sable hideouts near the end, and then there are the Demon hideouts, which are essentially just an arena battler.
Dude, people, I don't know how. Dave Fenoy, I hope I'm saying that right, is the guy that voices the homeless guy for the pigeons. He's the voice of Lee Everett from The Walking Dead. That man will never go hungry because it's like, hey, you need an old wise black guy in your story? You got me. He's Lee. He's the Lucius Fox and the Batman. He's in this, and I hear him like, yeah, he's pretty much everything. Not the Batman movie, the Batman the Telltale game.
That's a good game.
Well, that's because Morgan Freeman is busy making movies.
Yeah, but it's like, damn, Dave, you're never gonna go hungry, huh? They use you in everything. Yeah, pretty much. Awesome.
Would you say Lee from The Walking Dead is wise?
No, but I love that man, and
me too.
Yeah, I've never cried harder in a video game series than those 4 fucking games.
And you wonder why we have never done 2 yet.
I didn't even get halfway through 2.
Yeah, like 2 is gonna make me drink again, which is a bad thing to do.
All right, then we definitely are never doing 2 then, huh? All right, thank you.
I really want to do 2 though.
Also, Fist doesn't just go away; he gets arrested.
Yeah, I think that's good. He's still operating somewhat. Like I'd like that one part where he's like, "You do me if you rescue my men, and I'll tell you, who Mr. Negative is," and he's just like, he's on the roof. Like I think he already knew. Yeah, look on the roof, buddy. Like, he didn't need to do all that, but it's funny.
Once you do all of his hideouts, Fist calls you and is like, mad about it. And I just like that Spider-Man calls him Willie.
That's cool that he gets mad at you for taking all the hideouts. I didn't do it this time. I usually try to do that type of open world stuff in games, but I also played 2 open world games in a row. I broke one of my rules, so that didn't help things either.
You're insane. I say that, but now they're just pretty much making open world games.
I don't do new games on the show usually, so I have the ability.
I'm so sick of open world games, you guys. I got so much shit I gotta play.
Right.
Death Stranding 2 comes out in like 3 months.
Pick up Assassin's Creed Shadows launching.
Oh God, I forgot about that too. Oh no.
I think a lot of people have. Don't feel bad.
I hope it is not as, I don't know, Valhalla was too much.
Valhalla was too much. I'm glad. I'm glad
Origins was too much.
Origins was too much.
I love Origins.
I'm so glad Mike has me on that fucking series because I really need to get through those somehow. I skipped 2 games that I absolutely fucking hated.
You skip more than 2. I think you skipped Liberation too.
Yeah, my bad.
That's fine. You don't like anything that even came near a ship.
I say as I'm looking at Yakuza like a pirate, and I'm just like, oh fuck, that looks fun though.
You don't like flying, or you don't like sailing, by the way, in case you forgot.
Oh, one thing I do like about this game too, which we're gonna get into, which we completely forgot about that joke. J. Jonah Jameson has a Makes the Frogs Gay podcast, which is I think a great addition to this game. What is that guy's name?
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, J. Jonah Jameson has an Alex Jones podcast. I also love that doing side quests affects his podcast because there's a side. I think it's either it's one or both of the pigeon side quest. He'll have a podcast come out and be like, "Someone told me Spider-Man's going around catching pigeons. You know what that means? He's more spider than man. He's over there eating fucking people." And it's like, oh, that was actually a really funny callback. I'm glad that happened.
There's also one side quest. It's saving the college students from being demons. And he has like a guest on, and he's like, "So you were a demon, and Spider-Man came and beat the crap out of you." And he's like, "No, actually, he saved me." And he like talks over him, and he's like, "That's all we have time for."
I like that. That's more than one time, and that does continue into the second game. Is him just going, "No, that didn't happen. I believe my sources."
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
you're saying something positive. I'm just going to cancel you out now. Next caller.
I do like that. I like how it's a spoof on right-wing bullshit. Like, I really do like that.
Also, J.K. Simmons forever changed that role. Like,
Yeah, it's not even J.K. Simmons, but it's somebody doing a J.K. Simmons.
Oh, I thought you were about to tell me that is J.K. Simmons. And
No, they didn't get
not,
it.
but
no.
we can only have people who sound like J.K. Simmons now play Jameson.
I think that's fine, though.
Speaking of J.K. Simmons, watch Invincible. If you stop what you're doing right now.
Oh yeah, Omni-Man.
Oh my god, yeah.
If you haven't started, if you've watched the first season, continue. Start right now. It's a good time to start. They already said season 4 is already halfway done, so we don't have to wait that long for it. Go start, finish it.
I like how he's, Jay Jonas in here, and depending on what he says, is actually based on what's happening in the game and their side quests you do. I do think that's cool. They work that in. I'm a little upset that they're making fun of podcasters. Come on now, people. But I get it. Making fun of a real live person.
Certain podcasters.
Yeah, Mike. It's not like I'm on here talking about fucking they're shooting lasers into the Atlantic Ocean to make tornadoes or some shit.
Stop.
That was real, isn't it? Someone said that bullshit.
Yes, yeah. I've seen people on TikTok argue about that. How there are people saying that if we had the technology to look at the weather, we had the technology to control it, and that's why hurricanes happen every year is to control the population and shit like that.
I thought hurricanes were gay frogs.
How are people that stupid?
Shut up, you tiny fools.
I saw a tweet the other day, or on Blue Sky, whatever they call it on Blue Sky, but it said, "Choose your fighter, gay frogs or trans mice."
You see, gay frogs are more of a tank type, where your trans mice are more of a DPS.
Oh my god. Do people really believe that the government was making trans mice? Are there people actually out there that believe that bullshit? There
Yes.
can't be, right? Oh, okay, I know the answer. All right. The answer is yes. Yes, there is.
Hey,
So
do you guys remember when this game came out and people were upset that Spider-Man worked with the cops?
Yes.
Oh my god.
What are people said about that? I mean, I get it. But
Yeah, they were
that's far fetched.
they're upset because he called himself Spider Cop, even though he's a vigilante and all this other goofy stuff. Yeah.
Which I won't lie, the Spider Cop bit got me every time.
God, it's hilarious. I like it when he's like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then at the end
Spider
when
Cop.
Yuri is like, "We'll need Spider Cop," and he's like, "Oh."
So funny enough, there are two versions of Spider Cop
I don't know what you're referring to.
in canon. Whenever at the end of this one, because Nate reminded me, there is another comic afterwards where Peter goes to the Spiderverse and he sees all the other Spider-Man, and there's a Spider-Man that very much he wears a spider mask, but he has a police cap on and a mustache, and he is Spider Cop.
That's cute.
That is amazing.
But in a separate Spider-Verse comic, there is very much a Peter Parker who is a cop, but he has spider powers. So it's literally like a fat Peter Parker, like he looks like Uncle Ben, and he has like a utility belt on, and he has web shooters, but he's a known cop. He just does Spider-Man shit.
Like they know he's Spider-Man.
Yeah, they know he's Spider-Man. Yeah, like He doesn't wear a mask or anything. He wears a cop uniform, but he doesn't carry a gun. He's got web shooters, and his belt's like a Spider-Man utility belt.
I love this.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I do find it funny where it's like, I don't kill anybody, and there are certain things, like any video game, there are certain things I did where like, yeah, no, they're dead. I threw them off a building and you didn't shoot a web to catch them.
No. So they actually, if you go to the edge of a building and you watch them fall, it is implied that at some point off camera, Peter has just laced every building with the wall web traps because they will suddenly get webbed and zap towards the wall.
I feel like I hit people with cars. They're dead.
I threw a manhole cover at a dude.
Nah, New Yorkers are just built different.
I think that guy is like toast. And I think it was one of those college students that was demon. So like he's definitely
dead.
Oh yeah,
he's coming back.
Yeah, New Yorkers are built different. There's a guy who dresses the Rhino at the college party, and he's like bigger than everybody else. Of course, the New Yorkers are built different.
I love that little thing where you have to fight him. He's like a little boss fight. I thought that scene was great.
Listen, when Batman hits people with his car, they actually just get electrocuted and repelled.
Of course, like in Arkham Origin, when I broke somebody's arm and left them in the snow, they were fine. Yeah.
So there's the joke of broken woke. See, broke is like, yeah, you see like the game cutscenes of Batman hitting me with a car. Woke, you actually play the game, and there's a part where Batman picks up someone and he slams them. There's an option to slam them down into like a light symbol, or like you can head smash them into a electrical fucking socket,
And they're dead.
And they're dead. But I don't kill people.
Ben Affleck Batman would disagree with you.
It's a bad loophole.
I can't kill you, but I don't have to save you. Like that?
Please tell me you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Not really.
I believe so.
No, Mike said it. It's the, what is it? The
I can't kill you, but I don't have to save you.
yeah. It's in Batman Begins.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that he's talking to Ra's al Ghul?
When you leave them on the train. Good fucking movie still. I'm happy to say that. Good fucking movie still. Also, speaking of Batman, since you got me quoting Batman all of a sudden, people fear what they don't understand. There you go. All right, well, Spider-Man. What? That's Falcone says it. It popped in my head today for reasons I will not discuss right now. So, but yes.
So another part of this game, which you end up getting into, I think we're pretty far along, so I think I can say it's safe there.
Sure, say whatever you want.
Peter fights the Sinister Six, and then there's a part where Mary Jane goes into it. They tease obviously what I think is also in the Ultimate Run, where Oscorp is basically just trying to figure out how to make another Spider-Man, and they're just fucking around with spiders. One crawls on Mary Jane.
That makes sense because it's so many years later that they wouldn't. Okay, yeah, I didn't even think about that completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I didn't think about them trying to recreate Spider-Man. I thought they were just fucking around with spiders.
Yeah, but it makes sense. And it's in a private hidden room in his office, not in the lab where it should be. That makes sense.
Well, they're still trying to find a cure for Harry, so anything necessary, right?
Is that from the Ultimate Run? That whole stuff with Harry being infected with the with like the genetic issue?
Yes and no, because the Ultimate Run implies that Venom isn't an alien symbiote. It's a bioweapon created by Harry's people, which includes Peter's parents. Because in the Ultimate Run, Peter gets the suit and he doesn't become Black Suit Spider-Man. He's Ultimate Carnage.
Oh. Yeah, in Ultimate, it's still Harry, but in this, I believe Harry has bonitis. So,
thanks for the Futurama reference, my man.
I'm so glad y'all get that reference. I told people that joke, and they go look at me like, "What the fuck is bonitis?" And I'm like,
I was wondering what you were referencing to. So
I thought you just wanted to bone Harry. Which
I mean, have you seen Harry?
I saw that picture.
Spoilers.
I said screenshot. Went to the bathroom.
Huge spoilers for Spider-Man 2. Both Yuri Lowenthal and the guy that voiced Harry for that game both confirmed that they played that role as gay lovers. So,
it feels like it, and it's perfect, especially in the office scenes. But we'll get there at a later point.
Isn't that just what friendship is anyway?
Yeah, it's just gay. I love my best friend. He's my husband.
I like the fact that Miles Morales is in this entire game, like off and on. Like I think all that's really good. That they do a good job of setting up what's coming eventually. And the fact that one of the last things you see is him getting bit by a spider randomly, I do like that too. Like they do a good job with a lot of setup in here.
It dawned on me. Okay, so when I was replaying this and the spider's on Mary Jane and she like freaks out, and then later it crawls off of her. I was like, because of fucking camouflage. That's what that turning invisible. That's what that spider can do. Like,
Yeah. No, I didn't think about that either, but you were right. Yeah.
I thought it just crawled into her backpack and then like
She didn't
bit
see it.
Miles. But yeah, it was just
The
like,
camouflage, 'cause that's the
like,
specialty of that spider.
it turned invisible once she started freaking out and just waited.
Oh, that reminds me too. I actually forgot another important character in this game. I think she's in the animated show. It's like a weird character. They also introduced Silver Sable and the Sable Corps in this fucking game too. I completely forgot about them.
He's a pretty known character, I would say. She's a 2-0 in Marvel Snap. Or no, 1-0 in Marvel Snap.
I didn't know who she was when I played this, and I had to look it up.
Oh, I
didn't
did.
Man, and his snapping.
I like Marvel Snap.
I know you do.
We know you do.
Everybody knows I do.
Every fan of the show knows you do. Are you in a hotel room? Are you in a hotel room? Pretty sure Tiff's looking over at you, knowing that you.
Oh, she's in the other part of the hotel room doing whatever the hell she's doing. I don't know. But
Yes,
she's listening to
me,
it. She
my
commented a couple times.
husband, and his love for Marvel Snap, and it's just the meme picture, but the third person is replaced with a phone.
I can't help it. Marvel Snap is fun. And it also introduced me to a lot of characters, and I feel like it introduced a lot of people to characters that they might have not known. And Silver Sable is one of those characters probably a lot of people weren't as familiar with. I was familiar with her because maybe it was the cartoon, but I knew her. I knew who she was. Plus, I have her first appearance in comic that she's not on the cover of, but I have it. So that's also why I knew who she was before this.
You're not doing that anymore, are you?
Buying comics?
The first issue of a character thing.
I don't buy comics much. Price went up too high during COVID, and I fell out.
Yeah.
During that. That's why I stopped doing it, because I used to be able to like get something for like $10 or $20 of some of these minor characters. And one, I don't go to comic book stores much, and two, they aren't. I don't see that anymore.
Fair.
COVID really ruined collecting.
It fucked up the pricing so much to where it's like I'm not interested. I got out of it a big time, but I used to know. I still like it. I actually have a reprint first appearance of Sandman I've been meaning to put on my wall, but I have not got around to that yet.
So Oscorp makes weapons, but we also forgot they also made something called Devil's Breath, cure Harry's bonitis. And what it's supposed to do is kill the disease, but apparently just kills everything in your body, which is pretty fucked.
I mean, it does kill the disease, though.
Ah.
I mean, so, you know.
The super chemo.
I think it wasn't completely, like, it makes sense that he made a medicine that also ended up having a side effect. I mean, it was controllable, but the Devil's Breath, I think, was the side effect of whatever they were creating, that they made a toxic weapon. I mean, all the stuff with Martin Lee, like the fact that he was experimented on with Osborn and he killed his parents, like they created him, I think all that's really good. The fact that almost everybody, him and Doc Ock have a reason to hate Osborn, I think that's a really good motivator for the story. And the fact that they do hold back Doc Ock to the last act, because everybody knows who's playing this, knows who Dr. Octavius is. Like, it's no secret.
Peter knows Harry's a bad person, right? Like, we established this in this universe.
Harry's a bad person?
Not Harry. Norman's a bad person. Yeah.
I think he knows a little bit.
I wouldn't say so just because of what happens later on that we won't get into.
Okay. I mean, he doesn't seem too... He's just like, he's a politician. I do like that the mayor's corrupt. I mean, that's very far-fetched, but that works. I do like that. Norman's just the way he acts. Like, he just acts like a politician.
He's also the worst being of all.
Okay.
A ginger.
Okay.
God damn it.
I don't know.
It was kind of funny, though, when I was confused.
Are you okay, Joe?
No.
But the game is never boring either. Like, I think that's another thing that needs to be said, is that the story really does a good job of pushing you forward all the time. And, like, for a good chunk of the game, like, when it would tell me to go somewhere, I would do all the side missions along the way. Like, you also have landmarks to take pictures of. Like, I mean, you have New York landmarks, and then you also have Marvel landmarks, Avengers Tower, Sanctum Sanctorum. I said it wrong. But, like, I like all the fact that... I love when you take a picture of the Sanctum, and he's like, that place is weird. It's just such cute things. I mean, that they worked in the real landmarks and the Marvel landmarks. I love taking pictures. I took pictures of almost all the landmarks just because. I mean, and the point of doing this is you get tokens, which then you can use to buy new abilities, upgrade your tech, to get new suits. So there's a reason to do all the side content. And there's a lot of saving crimes. I didn't do the crime shit because I didn't care. I got tired of fighting after a while.
Me collecting backpacks every 5 minutes. Help, Spider-Man, they have a hostage. That's what the police are for.
I did like one of each. I tried to do a little bit just so I could talk about it and experience as much of this game as possible. But yeah, no, some of that stuff was just like, I don't give a shit.
I did everything because... Did you guys know that there's a platinum trophy for that game called Beat Raider?
Yeah.
Did you get it?
I did. It's not hard. The most annoying thing are the crimes, but I did it. So the first time I played, like on PS4, I did it so poorly where I still had a bunch of crimes with the 4 different factions at the end of the game. This time I was smarter. I did it when there were only 2 factions each, so it wasn't as grindy. But
No, that's fair. It's a game that kind of punishes you a little bit if you wait too long to do some of the side content, because once Act 3 happens, you don't want to do side content.
I did all the side content before continuing the story in Act 3, and it is god-awful.
Okay. Because once you beat the game, you can still do side content and the world is back to normal, right?
Yeah, and I should have waited, but like I did all the hideouts and like everything I could. And then I was worried the Taskmaster stuff.
Oh, I didn't mess with that
broken.
this time.
No? I like the Taskmaster stuff.
I did too. I was just time. I was running out of time.
Yeah.
Taskmaster's pretty cool.
Because I had to
thought
beat
it
this
was-
game before my trip.
I thought it was broken on my copy because like only the bomb and the drone missions showed up, and I was like, where are the other 2? Like the combat and the stealth. But eventually they showed up, which thank goodness.
Are they just something that they want you to unlock later in the game or something like that?
I honestly have no idea because I thought they were unlocked all at the beginning of the, like, as soon as Taskmaster becomes a thing, they all unlock, but they showed up after I think it was after I beat the game.
Okay. Because I feel like maybe they're like locked. They don't want you to finish it till later. I did the Taskmaster stuff in my first playthrough, but this time I did not. I was in a stupid time crunch. It was really annoying.
I would much rather, and you know what? I'll defend you on that hill too, Nick. Because trust me, if I didn't have better stuff to do, I would too. Because a lot of this game's fun, but I'd much rather collect backpacks and pigeons and little Catwoman. If you're threatening me in a really hot way, and other stuff. I would much rather do that than riddle me this, Batman. What color is a horse's asshole? Use 3 batarangs and electricity to figure out how to get my puzzle. There's 300 of them, Riddler. Please leave me alone. Well, you better get them unless you want the bat ending for Batman.
No, you are right. Like, these are better stuff. They're not as annoying as Arkham, but it works.
Fuck you, Arkham.
I'm also glad that I'm kind of glad and not glad, but like, I should be happy that they actually save a lot of Spider-Man villains for future stuff. So there's not that many in this game. They could have put a lot more in this game. So they did a good job in holding it back for future games.
Honestly, I'm wondering who's left because they use a lot for 2 and
Miles
and
not that many.
Miles has his own villain.
Yeah,
but right.
They're still
I can think of 2 or 3 big ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say Big Wheel Arcade.
Got Screwball back in there.
Beetle.
Beetle's bigger.
Not yet.
Beetle's a bigger villain.
We were supposed to
never
get
mind.
DLC for Beetle, but they canceled it along with the fucking multiplayer Spider-Man game.
Yeah, but they
Is
also
that
kind of
because-
cut a quest or a bunch of side missions in 2 and half that were gonna connect to that,
Oh,
which sucks.
we'll get more, I'm sure, eventually. Or are we getting to? I don't know. But
No, there's no DLC coming for 2.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. It's because they fucked up and did the thing of, hey, we're gonna we're gonna
Release a smaller game.
we're gonna release the multiplayer instead, and then that ended up finding out that live service games are bad, so it got canceled. But
That
or at
feels like Sony was counting their dollars before.
I don't even remember them talking about a multiplayer game. I thought it may have been connected to like, because around the time that game came out, people were finding like little hidden buildings like under the map, and then they'd update the game to remove them. And so I thought maybe that was part of it. Was just like, oh well, we don't want to do this.
Was this game Puddlegate or is that 2?
this game's Puddlegate.
This is
Okay.
Puddlegate.
I
Is
posted some-
what?
So I posted something in the chat y'all could look at real quick. But basically, back when this game came out, we had I talked about earlier, the E3 gameplay demo, and that had like reflections in the puddles. But when you put this on PS4, there were no reflections in the puddles. So everyone on the internet and on Reddit had a fucking shit fit about it, and that's Puddlegate for Spider-Man.
Oh my god.
I had to mention it. I mean, also this game has a really like good moment in the story, sad to tell near the ending when they kill Aunt May in this game.
Oh my god, that moment.
That is a powerful
then-
fucking moment.
And then, yeah, I cried at that one the first time, but the one that really got me this time was the final battle when Peter just goes, "You knew," and is so fucking pissed.
It's
that
good.
one got me.
God.
Yeah,
I
because
was
Doc
just
Ock
like,
knew.
Oh man.
And it makes sense why they spare Spider-Man the first time, because like when he runs into the Sinister Six the first time at the beginning of Act 3, Doc spares him
Yeah.
because he knows who he is. Man, the
So-
stuff with Doc Ock is so fucking good in this game. Like that is.
Yeah, I love the voice, the back and forth between Doc Ock and Peter, and especially after he beats him and he's like, "I'll tell everyone, and you'll never be able to live," and he's like, "I don't care, dude. Bye." And just Nate talked about it, but yeah, whenever he goes in and he's like, "I'm gonna help you," and she's like, "Oh, I know it's you, Peter," and he has to hold himself back from giving her the only cure.
I think that
man.
is so
Yeah.
good.
Snot down my face. I love that every fucking time.
Good.
Well, he
scene.
even talks to that doctor, and he's like, "Can we just use it to save one person, like, and then
Make more.
make more?" And he's like, "No." Oh my god, just heart ripped out of my chest.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like one of those things where if Doc Ock would have just not taken it, he could have saved her. Like it's really good.
Yeah, because he gets
I
away
think
with that cure
Yeah, he runs away with it.
like 3 times, right?
No, he runs away with it once, and then you don't get it back to the end of the fight.
Okay,
But he's trying to get it throughout the fight. That fight is also really good.
that's really
This
good
game
fight.
made me want to play more Spider-Man games. Actually,
You should.
I am
Like Miles
playing
Morales in Spider-Man 2.
Or they
later
never
this year.
stop
Miles
once.
Morales, Spider-Man 2 was going to be this year, but it's going to be next year because I feel like I'm going to need more time to get through the DLC, and I probably should play Miles before we talk about 2 instead of 2, then talk about Miles, which I was going to do, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Christmas in July.
I got much else going. Plus, I kind of needed one less open world game on the schedule. So,
Oh.
because when I played 2 in a row, I found out, yeah, you don't do that, Mike. That's not a good idea. My favorite, the one stealth mission that is pretty interesting. I mean, I think all the stealth missions are decent with Mary Jane and Miles, but the one where Mary Jane is sneaking around in Tombstone's headquarters, I think that was pretty ballsy. So was when she's in the Silver Sable place. Like, I do like that they give her a lot to, she's a badass in a way. I like Mary Jane. I like the fact that they get together in the end of this. And doesn't it like after everything happens, it jumps like 5 months later, and then Miles shows Peter that they're both Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I like
jump
that.
onto the ceiling.
That's a really cute scene. And then Peter does the same thing. He's like, yeah, that's not that strange.
He's like, I want to talk to you about something that's changing. And he's like, whoa.
It's good. Because he doesn't know Peter is Spider-Man until, Peter jumps on the ceiling too.
I'm also glad we have the instant connection of him being like, of them immediately figuring out the other one is a Spider-Man. So I think it's really cute.
It is. And it's good that they introduced Miles. I mean, I'm hoping Miles gets pushed more, like it seems like Sony's trying to do, like with the Spider-Verse movies. So I think Miles is a great character.
I don't know if that third Spider-Verse movie is happening.
Oh, there are issues?
Studio issues, and then the actor who plays Miles is
Fucking freak.
Fucking weird.
Like kinky weird or
yes, he keeps hitting on the actress for Gwen, and she's like, "I'm married," and he's like, "Yeah, but all the other Spider guys date their actress friends," and she's like, "Just because Tom Holland did it and is married does not mean."
Andrew Garfield did it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, that's not kinky. That's just you're being a fucking piece of shit. There's a difference.
But also,
not respecting the word no.
They also had a writer strike too, and Sony's just a piece of shit.
It would not surprise me if that movie comes out that there will be AI like elements.
Do not monkey paw this.
I'm not monkey pawing it.
He's not asking for it. He's just predicting the future.
I just know that we're gonna get it, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, some of the background Spider-Man, we just left to AI instead of paying an actual artist and not crunching." And
I really do hope we get that movie, though.
I'm gonna stab my own eyes out.
I've never seen the second one. I was
Oh, you fucking need
I want
to.
It was such a good theater experience. Like, oh
that
man,
didn't happen, unfortunately. I was busy when that came out.
You should still watch it. It's really good.
I regret not having a good theater experience. My good theater experience was the third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. That was a great theater experience for me, and I will never have a happier moment in my entire life than that moment.
A good movie.
Yeah.
So you fight the demons, which are one of the gangs. You fight kingpins. You fight a little bit of Silver Sable's men, not a whole bunch, which is nice, but they're there. Those are about the 3 factions of enemies you have to deal with in this game.
You also kind of hit
crooks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean gangster crooks. Yeah, randomly.
You fight the what is it? The Tombstone people like inhale shit to make themselves invulnerable.
Oh yeah, there are those guys. That was cool.
The not Venom.
It was better than Arkham. Anything? I think we. Oh, I do want to say like the dual fights that we talked about, the Rhino Scorpion fight. You also have Electro
and
Vulture.
Electro,
That's a
yeah.
good fight. Electro Vulture fight is really good. I like it a
It's
lot.
all in the air. It makes you actually like think about your positioning.
Mm-hmm. It's a good fight. They're a good combo together to fight too. So the Mr. Negative fight, you fight him twice. Both of those are good. The Doc Ock fight is amazing just because it's so cinematic.
I don't even want to call them mind palaces, but the mind prison that Mr. Negative puts you in.
I forgot he does that.
Oh yeah.
That is such a cool design.
Yeah, those are good scenes too.
And his like giant Oni form because he's messing with you, but maybe he's not messing with you.
That was good too. Overall, it's a really good game.
Yeah, I got teary-eyed when Aunt May died and she's like, I've always known. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
It's a good scene. It's a really good scene.
Did
But I
you
mean, it
guys
needed
go,
more growth for
visit-
Spider-Man.
Did you guys go visit Ben's grave?
I forgot you could do that.
yeah.
I did
you can
not.
also do it in the second one.
This also made me really want to play the second one, but I knew that I should put more time in between the two or I'll regret
Please
it.
do, and please do the DLC.
Oh yeah, the DLC is going to be planned with the four of us again at some point. So that'll be happening. I have to get it done before I do Miles because I have to stick with my schedule. So yes. All right, anything else you guys want to say about Spider-Man?
Not that I can think of.
Did you guys like Peter Parker as Spider-Man?
No, he can't be. They have different ass shapes. I would know.
All right. We're going to questions, comments, and memories. And from the I watched the entire Orblet Super replay, I got two because I mentioned how I haven't thought about this game in a while. So Ron Huntone, friend of the show, recently, when did you ever stop thinking about Spider-Man? I did for a bit. Well, he's not the game. From Zach Token, the opening sequence into the player actively web swinging and the music hits was divine. It was right there that I knew the game was going to slap, and it did. All right. And then from the official Laser Time community, from Dan Slattery, I've been meaning to go back and play this one, and I'm glad to hear it still holds up. Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2 were some of my favorite games of the last decade, and I can't wait to complete the series. Yeah, I'm happy to say this game really did hold up. Like, it was still a great time. From Jordan Ching, I fucking love this game. I've been meaning to replay it on PC for ages. From William Adams, absolutely love that game. Here's a good one. From Connor Wade, I never understood the hate for this franchise. Now that I think of it, it's probably from whatever's left of Xbox stands. Who hated on this game?
Xbox fans.
Some people.
There were Xbox fans that hated on this just because it was exclusive?
Yeah, they're stupid.
They'll never go away.
They'll never go away.
They think
Why
they still
do
have a
people
console.
worship corporations? Like, you do know they don't give a shit about you, right?
I think my least favorite one are Disney adult.
I'm gonna have to send Joe a thing later.
Nintendo is mine. I really don't
Right.
like people that worship Nintendo.
That's also a bad one. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, because there's some people that get really like upset about pirating ROMs, and I'm like, I'm pirating a Super Nintendo game. It's okay.
Okay, I was about to say my pet peeve is people who think pirating Tears of the Kingdom Day 1 is like cool.
Okay, that's straight up pirating. That's different.
Yeah,
Like that's
but like that annoys me. And they go, "Oh,
Yeah.
you're defending corporations." I'm like, "No, that game literally just came out."
that's
You
theft.
know, like
I mean,
you can buy it for the Nintendo console. But
Yeah,
like if
that's
you're like, I want to
different.
play Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo, it's like, yeah, man, get that ROM. Go for it.
I won't
Who
touch
cares?
Switch emulation because I can buy Switch.
Yeah.
Now, once you give it another 5 years after Switch 2 comes out and all those games are disappearing, then I will consider it. But like I draw the line like hell. People playing Tears of the Kingdom before it came out and playing no, don't now you're stealing. Like don't do that.
Yeah. And they think that they're like sending a message to Nintendo. It's like you're not.
You are sending a message. It's not one that you want to be sending.
Yeah, you're sending a message where they're just gonna come to your house and beat you up.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean it's old games that I'm completely fine with, emulation. Like that's where I
Yes.
think people should be okay with it. So I get it.
We are the meme of, oh my god, I almost called him Patrick Armstrong. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What the hell?
Patrick Arm how
I
you
don't,
combine-
because I was
I'm
thinking of
Patrick.
Are you okay?
No.
It's late
I was
there.
thinking of the meme with the arms coming together, the Too Strong, from Predator.
Oh,
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
I still don't
Yeah,
know how we
that's-
got Patrick Armstrong, but all right.
Has strong arms. Those men had strong arms. Anyway.
'Cause when you said Patrick, this is Patrick. All right, and then from Ben Mitchell, I really loved this when it first came out and would love to play the sequel. I think when I first got a hold of it, I was mainly interested in finding all the backpacks. And let me tell you, I bloody ran out of backpacks real quick.
Wait.
I don't know. I
They
just
found them all, or
it's only 55. It's not a crazy number. Not a small number by any means, but not a crazy number. I mean, Assassin's Creed has how many flags in it you have to find? So in the first one?
The
First one was like 100 in each area.
Yeah.
I think.
And then we
It's
got
been
the
a long
dumb
time.
feathers.
Feathers were 100.
There are
feathers are
three.
fine.
There are 350 Riddler trophies in Batman Arkham Knight.
There. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. So 55 backpack. I mean, there's other stuff, but backpacks aren't bad. And you have a tracker that pretty much points you right where to go. So, all right. And I should give away a code. Let me see what I have next to give away. I'm running out of codes, but I still got some for people. Eventually, they will go away. Right. Okay. Here we go. Here's a really good code. I hope whoever gets this is very happy. Your Steam code is for Persona 4 Golden.
Oh.
Wow.
I had it copy already. The code is 0NL59ZDJ6482RLR. That is your Steam code for Persona 4 Golden. It came in a humble bundle or something.
Hell of a game.
It is. Also on this podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, damn good game. Damn good game. All right, that brings us to Shelf Stacker Box. And Phoebe, why don't you lead us in?
I'm gonna put this on the shelf, and surprisingly enough, this is my first Insomniac game that I fully beat, and I kind of want to go back and play their other games just because of how good this is.
You played Spyro, haven't you?
I played demos for Spyro, but the first time I actually beat a full Spyro game was the Reignited trilogy.
Oh, okay. Oh, and you played this first?
Yeah, this is the first game of theirs that I have actually completed instead of a remake or anything.
I highly recommend Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Yeah,
really
it's been on
enjoy
my
that.
wish list. I'm just waiting for it to drop in price enough. It's just games are expensive, Neil.
I have PlayStation Plus, so I can get it for free. I need to play it.
I have PlayStation Plus, but it's the lowest tier just because multiplayer exists.
Mm-hmm.
And Nate.
I would put this on the shelf. I think it is really good, and after replaying it, the story is so good. Probably one of the best Spider-Man stories we've gotten in a long time.
I think that's fair. That's very fair. I'll go next. I'm going to put this on the shelf. I really enjoyed it. This game was a ton of fun to play again, so I'm glad that we played it. And Joe, why don't you take us out?
Of course, obviously, it's a shelf. Can't argue with any of that. Great game, even the story. I didn't get quite around. I beat it before, and I was playing it a second time. I decided to spend 10 buckaroonies because it's not that bad, anyways. I spent $10 to upgrade to the PS5 version just to see if there was differences, and I still had a lot of fun with time with it. I obviously didn't get through it because it is a big game, but I might just go downstairs and keep playing it because it was pretty fun.
I'm glad. I figured we would all be pretty positive on this game.
I would say find me a person who is negative about this game, but then I remember Xbox people just hate anything that's not on the console.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, into what we're going to talk about next week, which I still need to finish. Next week, you will hear us talk about Secret of Evermore.
Hell yes!
We're going back in time.
Is that the open world game?
No, it's an old Super Nintendo action RPG game.
It's a fantastic game.
It's hard.
It is hard. And I will hear nothing else negative about that game.
You won't right now.
Oh my god!
Yeah. And I guess we should go to plugs. And Nate, where can people find you at?
You can find me on the TikToks at Nate Does Comedy 79, where right now I'm just reposting,
Same two videos.
liberal propaganda.
I mean, that is how it's seen.
Propaganda that is like, hey, people should have basic human rights.
If it's true, it's not propaganda.
You think that, you freak?
I know.
Maybe.
What a jerk.
Nate, you can't say that. You're a cis white male, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but I also think that everyone should be free to live their life and, be happy. So
A simple concept.
except for Nazis. Fuck Nazis.
Yeah, such a simple concept.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I want to say this line on here because I've said it multiple times in person, but I am really hoping that the line "Go buy a Tesla" goes down in history of "Let them eat cake." I really hope that goes down in history.
Oh, it is collapsing.
Because it's like that. It's so close to the same thing.
Their own
Oh.
party is collapsing.
Of a leader just being so stupid and not realizing that your people are suffering and you're telling them to go, it's the same idea. So,
Hey, anybody want some popcorn? Watch the dumpster fire in action with me?
we're living it, unfortunately. So, but yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I
And
not
Phoebe,
live? Can I not live in an actual apocalypse for 5 fucking minutes?
not in the 2020s, sir. Not in the 2020s. Maybe when we get to 2030s.
Oh,
I'm really hoping that 2030s are better and there's less historical events that happen in them. Because
God, I hope.
2020s have been fucking awful.
I am so sick of living in a relevant news event every single year.
Measles are back.
And I want to say Ebola and something else.
Oh God.
Yeah, no,
I
she's
did not
right.
hear about Ebola.
It's more contained, but yeah. It's also not it's more... Well, the good news is Ebola will kill the person that's infected before they can get very far. So, there's just that.
What's next? The plague?
We already did that.
Yeah, we already did it. Don't
We lived through
wish
that.
it again. It was like 2 years ago, Joe.
Oh look, guys, Venom's real and he's taking over the planet. Have a good night, everybody.
And Phoebe, where can people find you at?
You can find me as the Let's Play Princess over on YouTube and Twitch because I do plan on coming back to that after a big break. I'm also on Blue Sky and the other site as the LP Princess. And finally, you can find me on wonderful podcasts like this, Gamer Looks at 40, Jack Billings Presents, and my own podcast, Nerds of Broadcast, with co-host TB, where we quiz each other and give each other punishments, and we sometimes have guests on. And we've talked about anime in the past, so Joe needs to come on.
Yeah.
All right. And if you want to hear more Spider-Man content, in the show notes will be all the Spider-Man content we have done. There's not a lot, but there is some for you guys to listen to. So definitely go check that out. If you want to support the show, we have a Patreon, Little Dog Vote in our Patreon poll. We have 1 to 2 polls a month. We have over 750 episodes you to listen to, so there's lots and lots of content for the show. You can search everything we do on Podbean, so you can check that out. We also have a Discord. Please join our Discord. If you want to be on the show, if you want to chat with us, if you want to suggest things I will eventually get to, join the Discord. It is free. So I'm always happy to have new people join us there. You will see a link in the show notes to this episode and every episode pretty much. So definitely go check that out. Also want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Freak. Follow her on TikTok and Instagram. Definitely go check her out. And make sure to check out A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. He's talking Final Fantasy forever. Not really, but it's a lot. Definitely go check out his show too. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, audio only, TikTok, rate and reviews wherever you get your podcasts. I think that's everything I need to say, so we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye everyone. Flip twit.